Hello once again, art lovers, and welcome back to Figure Study, where we appreciate the form in Transformers. And today I am finally finishing up my look at the Revenge of the Fallen Constructicons, because I finally got my hands on Long Haul. He is a giant green brick of a dump truck, which, not terrible. And I do mean giant too. If you look at the size of this cab and these hand railings, the idea is that like a human is like, the human's supposed to fit in there. So he is a huge dump truck. I think I saw one of these in like a Jackie Chan movie, but I can't remember which one. Maybe it was Super Cop. I can't remember. Anyway, he is a really big dump truck, and he is really green. But I mean, it's okay. He's really green, but there are a lot of little moments where you've got like, the black of the tires, this red trim here, the Decepticon logo, the black of the hand railings around the outside, and the grill with all the black and the red and the numbers that don't mean anything to me. And I have to say, actually, these lights in the front too are kind of interesting. They're silver, but it looks like they're silver, and there's also, at least here, there's like a little bit of a translucent plastic over top of them, which is kind of a nice effect. And you also have the clear for the cab. So yeah, I mean, there's some color break up here. If you look up his skirt, you can see that he's got a little bit of gray that could be mistaken for just hydraulics, which looks pretty nice. And unless you know what you're looking for, there's really nothing on him that screams, "This is a robot." I mean, yeah, I suppose he could wave to you when you're behind him. It's like, hello. But when his hands are all folded up, they just look like truck parts. Underneath, it's really nothing there that screams robot, which I can really appreciate. As far as the molding goes, there's some really nice, just little molded details all around this guy, which is kind of a common thing for a lot of the movie toys, because they're based on movies, which had these CGI monstrosities that were filled with all sorts of little parts that made them visually confusing. But with toys, it works better because they can go a little bit lighter on the details, but still leave a lot in. Got these like rivets on the side here, more rivets and lights and molded in grills in the front here, and these ladders, which seem completely pointless because once you get up here, where do you go? But whatever. Yeah. I also really like that because he's long haul, you can still lift up the truck bed, although lifting it up this high... Oh, no. Okay. Last time I tried doing this, when I lifted it up, it disengaged the back here, but it looks like it's still connected. So you can lift that up, and inside it pretty much just looks like hydraulics, which is pretty cool. And then it also reveals more detail in here, like this generator thing here. You can even see like some cables running around. Yeah, he's got some really nice details. I can dig him. The only thing that I find a little unfortunate with him in his truck mode is the fact that, most of him is this lighter green, and then the actual bed of the dump truck is this really standout darker green. Just a shame that they couldn't have matched it a little bit better, but I'm not too broken up about it. It's just, it's just a little bit of a shame. Anyway, that is long haul as a dump truck, but now let's take a look at long haul as a robot. So, long haul in robot mode is, he's not as obnoxiously lanky as I kind of expected when I was looking at like other videos and pictures and stuff. I mean, he is still a little lanky. I feel like, given his dump truckness, it would make sense for him to be a little bit stockier, a little bit bulkier, but, overall he looks good. The giant brick of green is broken up even better here. We got these pistons in the arms that actually piston, which is really cool. But, you've got some of these bluish silver details that are suddenly apparent. It's more black and red, a lot more of the 1214, which makes no sense to me. And And some more details along the arms, along the legs. Yeah, his he's still very green, but he's much better broken up. And I love how these are actually like the front of the truck that has been folded around his thighs. I just think that's kind of a cool way to get rid of it and also add some more visual interest to his robot mode. As far as molding goes, there is, of course, tons of detail, as expected. Like, even more stuff becomes apparent after the transformation. The inside of the legs, the outside of the legs. As I've said, he's got, like, the front of a truck folded around his thighs. There's some nice detail in the chest, as well as this little wheel that, when you move his head, actually rotates, which is unnecessary, but it's a cool little detail. I also like that his feet have this kind of, like, just this little bit of motion there. Makes it almost look like he's got shock absorbers that will move as his feet move, which is cool. His face, this is where he really kind of fits in with the rest of the Constructicons. Because while he's definitely the most human-looking, that face is definitely Decepticon. He looks imposing in his own right, but then, like, when you start to get close and really look, you can see he's got this tiny little sharp-toothed squid beak-looking mouth right here, which is in a really weird place, and it's kind of really disconcerting to look at. That's creepy to me. I mean, I appreciate it. It's just creepy. But he's a Decepticon. He's supposed to be creepy. His waist keeps popping out. He also does have one little thing that I will show off because, unlike a lot of other figures, these accessories are built into his body. You press a button, and he's got knives that flip out. And both sides do this. Not really. Yeah. I'm kind of not really here or there on these things. I mean, it's cool that they included them, although I'm not a huge fan of these giant panels being stuck to the outside of his arm. But, whatever. The blades themselves look pretty nice. You can see what looks like it could be Cybertronian writing, or what they want us to think is Cybertronian writing. I could care less either way. But, they look pretty good. And I do like that you can sometimes get some cool poses out of him with that. Yeah, he is a neat figure. Still pales in comparison to Mixmaster for me. But that's because Mixmaster is just incredible in his awkwardness, like intentional awkwardness. He's just like a giant bug gorilla. Long Haul is sort of like a different kind of bug gorilla, where he has the gorilla arms, but doesn't quite look the part as much. But still, he's very neat. I have to give him that. His back portion is a little bit Kind of looks like a giant frog face from that angle. But, he is cool. I am glad that I got my hands on him. I like that I can now say I have a full Voyager class. Not even Voyager, because Rampage isn't Voyager class, but I have a full Constructicon team from Revenge of the Fallen, minus any of, the teeny tiny, what are they, Legends? Maybe not Legends class, but, the tiny ones. Rampage is the smallest one I've got. But he looks really good on the shelf next to Mixmaster and Demolisher and Rampage, and they're a great-looking team. So that has been my look at I think Revenge of the Fallen, probably Revenge of the Fallen Voyager class long haul. He is cool. Cooler than I gave him credit for before, I will admit that. So yeah, he's made a believer out of me. I'm glad I have the full team now. Anyway, as per usual, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Any combination of those three would be greatly appreciated, but I won't hold it against you if you don't do any of them. And I'm not trying to guilt you or anything like that. I really won't hold it against you. In the meantime, remember, as is always the case, art is more than meets the eye.